Okay, hey everyone, welcome to the pitch call of Agri Tech Startup BioVeda. We have the founders here, Mahua and Kaushik with us. Quick summary, as you see on the screen, they have 38,000 plus registered farmers across lots of tier 2 and 3 villages with 900 plus villages covered. Over 21,000 transactions done since Feb 23 and 800 plus AMs appointed. Uh, yeah, their current monthly run rate is 2 crore. They did 6.1 CR of revenue last year. It's already at 2 CR MRR. And the year-end projection is of 40 crores. And yeah, we are getting an entry at a pretty impressive 25 crore pre-money valuation. So yeah, with that, I'll let Mahua and Kaushik take over, and you guys can share your screen and get started.
Surely, we'll do that. First of all, very good evening to all of you, and thank you for this opportunity, Rohan. Uh, Feels great to see a house full audience here. So let me share the presentation and start the presentation. Is there a timeline to which we have to adhere to, Rohan?
Not really. We have enough time. So, before we start, I will also quickly like to introduce Namay and Anand, who are also, Namay runs Gen Z VZ and is also opening it up to his set of folks. And yeah, Anand Kataria is pretty much from a similar background and a seasoned investor as well. So we have Namay and Anand here as well, who've already been, investing as part of the current round of BioVeda.
Great. Just a second. Is the screen visible to you?
Yes, it is.
So let us start with the presentation. First of all, very good evening to everyone, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce BioVeda to you, the first quick commerce platform for rural India. If you look at any commerce that is successful today, any e-commerce platform in India, it is because they have scaled up, and it is all about convenience of payments, convenience of deliveries, technology, convenience in some or the other form. But if we look at convenience is just not the birthright of an urban consumer, all of us sitting here in urban India. It is as much the need of rural India and a rural counterparts. Now let me take you back to 2021, where how it all started. It was way back in September 2021 when me and Kaushik were doing a project with the Uttarakhand government, and we were going to a remote village called Gendi Khata which was a cluster of Haridwar, and there we could not find our way, so we were connected to a young girl of 18 called Geeta there, and she sent us a GPS location, and that GPS location exactly took us to the village, and we were amazed to reach there and see that, if I mean, that was in the middle of nowhere, but every household there had a smartphone. Now very interestingly, all of them were operating applications like YouTube, and it was in the middle of COVID. So, though it was rural India was hardly impacted, but all of them had smartphones and they were using YouTube or Facebook or other such apps. But I could see that all of those applications were only used for entertainment. Technology was not being used to their benefit. And that is where we delved deeper. And this was where the whole journey started. And we we started understanding the Indian farming ecosystem, and we traveled extensively through villages of Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Bihar, and Jharkhand. And as we moved ahead and moved beyond, we understood that there were certain problems, certain pain areas which were key to the farmer. For example, delay in payments when they would sell their produce, or probably spurious products which were prevalent in rural India across various retail shops, unfair harvest prices which they got, and also huge lending interest rates for due to which they were always in this vicious cycle. Uh, so all that put together, we realized that it is a great opportunity for us to bring the technology as a leveraging factor for them so that they can utilize that and increase their income. Needless to say that the ecosystem is huge. It's huge, and as big as 120 million farmers. It is a $1,200 billion opportunity if we put agribusiness and staples or groceries put together. And most importantly, 90% of the households have a smartphone, at least one smartphone. With that, let me introduce you to myself and Kaushik. We are the founders of BioVeda Agro Ventures. I'm Mahua Hazra. I hail from a corporate background with about 20 plus years of experience in insurance and the banking sector, primarily in channel and agent management and marketing and sales promotion. Kaushik, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. I'm Kaushik Dasgupta, co-founder of BioVeda Agri Ventures. I I come from a supply chain marketing, sales, and distribution background. I worked with companies like Profeti, Samsung, Nokia, Sony, and Foxconn. Uh, Held roles primarily in distribution and supply chain. I've worked very closely with the companies like Flipkart and Amazon in my later years, in the last 7 or 8 years, wherein I have been detrimental and a part of launching multiple products in these platforms. And I've worked very closely with this platform to understand the way let's say, they work. And the experience between myself and Moha, which is the agent management and the supply chain and distribution, these are the experiences that we have put into the business model of BioVeda, and which is actually helping us build this really in a robust way.
Let me reiterate once again, convenience is just not the birthright. It is the birthright of every Indian citizen and not the urban citizens only. And we here at BioVeda are trying to provide convenience to the Indian farmer. Does the farmer does not have access to agri inputs? Of course he has. Does he not have access to mandis where he can go and sell his harvest? Of course he has. He also has access to credit, which is available to him at high interest rates, just like us, before the Flipkarts and the Mintras and now the Zeptos and Blinkits came, we all knew where to buy our groceries and our staples from. But these applications or have come and platforms have given us convenience. Similarly, BioVeda is here to bridge that gap through technology for the farmer, where we not only provide him convenience by providing him a marketplace to sell his produce, by providing him genuine quality input products at his doorstep, and also enable him to get loans so that he can buy his products from a portal. Plus, we are also introducing something very, very unique for the Indian farmer as we go through the journey. I will definitely share that with you. And with that, we want to enhance the farmer income by 30% in the coming 3 years. I'm glad to share that we have already increased the farmer income by 6 to 8% in the last 1.5 years of working with them. Uh, if we typically look at a BioVeda customer. A BioVeda customer owns about 3 acres of land, grows 3 crops in a year. Very interestingly, the business potential of a farmer in a village is of this customer is about 6 lakhs, where 90,000 comes from the input supplies which he buys for his farm, and about 5 lakhs of the produce which he sells back to various mandis. Uh, the entire focus, if you see, also comes that now the entire payments have shifted. Majority of payments have shifted from cash to UPI. So the farmer is well versed with technology and is using it. Also, about 73% of the buying which the farmer does is on cash. There's a myth which is surrounded around the farmers that they do not buy products in cash. It is all credit. That is not true. Seeds and fertilizers are not available to them on credit. It is a cash purchase. Only on chemicals they enjoy credit of about 15 to 30 days. We all know that all of these things put together, we put a social quick commerce platform for our farmers together. Pivotal to our platform is the BioVeda application. The BioVeda application serves as the common thread between the farmer and BioVeda, from where he can buy products and also sell his produce to us. A Kisan Mitra is the pivotal plays a pivotal role in connecting BioVeda and the farmer. He is from the village. His profile is ideally 25 to 35-year old. He has a smartphone. He is well versed with technology. He's trusted in the village, knows almost 70 to 80% of the people in the village, he has a vehicle so that he can travel around. This Kisan Mitra's job is to connect the farmer and onboard him on the BioVeda application, register him, and take his details. Now, here we collect a lot of information from the farmer, right? Starting from his demographics, his crop profile, his brand preferences, what is his annual income, which gives us a fair idea of his preferences and brand choices. Once the Kisan Mitra onboards the farmer on the application, his next job is to help him or aid him to place orders on the app. Once he places orders on the app, our bikers and our riders, our supply chain, provides a delivery to him within 4 hours at his doorstep. So that's how a Kisan Mitra's role is concluded. The second piece comes when the farmer has to sell his produce. So he brings his produce to our marketplace, to our collection centers, which is very close, in the close vicinity of his villages. And again, here the Kisan Mitra helps the farmer to bring his produce so that he gets the right rate. And this is how the farmer comes and sells his produce to us at the collection centers. It is collected within an hour of supply, whereas if he goes to the mandi, it takes at least 12 to 14 hours. He gets the payment within 48 to 72 hours. Again, at a mandi, it could range anywhere from 7 days to 30 days. So that's a kind of convenience which the farmer gets from us when he's associated with us. We're also working on the third leg of providing a credit or a wallet where we can give him products where he can buy products from the application through a small loan of 10 to 30,000, which he can avail digitally from the application. This is work in progress. It would probably take another 6 months to 9 months for us to bring this live. Uh, as we talk about the delivery timelines, we are right now doing a 4 hour delivery for all the products through a hyper local model where we have dark stores at the 4 different districts where we are operating from. Uh, the whole idea fits into our vision of serving the customer chocolate se chocolate tak. And that's why we say that we collect your output within an hour and we deliver at your doorstep within 4 hours. These are certain pictures which you see of the mandi or the collection centers which we put up during the season where we buy maize from them, and we these are some of our happy customers who've received their products. The journey has been very interesting so far. We are operational in Uttar Pradesh. There are 4 dark stores in 4 districts: Sambal, Badaयूं, Farukabad, and Kasganj, where we operate from. Farukabad and Kasganj have been operational in the last 1.5 months. The last two, Sambal and Badaयूं, have been operational for the last 1.5 years. We have covered almost 900 villages. We have 10,000 Baby Prime members, and in the crops which we work in especially in input, we have a market share of about 8 to 10% in the last 1.5 years. Uh, our growth forward would be basis 4 key drivers which we have identified. One of them is the BB Prime membership. Now, this is a demand engine which we have created, where our entire sales is a pull sales. We have subscribed members who pay a subscription fee, and basis that subscription fee, the sales is driven. So since the farmer is paying a subscription fee of 149 or 249 rupees, it is imperative that he keeps coming back to us for the products that he wants. So the demand is created prior to the supplies are organized. The second piece is the convenience which we are providing. If we look at our competitors, they are right now delivering anywhere between 4 to 7 days, whereas we are delivering within 4 hours of ordering. And basis these two key drivers, we are moving ahead with expansion in the coming 15 districts, in 15 districts which are nearby in Uttar Pradesh. All of this bases a robust technology through a super app where we are already upgrading our present app, which is for the farmer. We are launching a Kisan Mitra app and a biker app, which would be integrated in the same app, therefore a super app. This is already work in progress, and we would be launching a couple of things on this soon. The BV Prime impact has been magical, and this is something which we started last year in December. This was the time when this is the time of a lull in the agri business, especially the November December months, when there is hardly any crop and there nothing to sell. And this was the time we realized that most of the transactions which were happening from our registered farmers was very minuscule in terms of conversion. If there were 40,000 farmers on the app, there were only about 2 to 3,000 who were actually transacting. We realized that only when we create a subscription where we create value and we charge them something, this would change. And That's exactly what happened. Within the last 8, 9 to 10 months of operation, we have been able to garner about 10,000 Baby Prime members, which itself is a captive business opportunity of 5 lakhs. Now, if we look at the gains for the farmer, that amounts to almost 18,000 rupees over the year, which in terms of his logistic savings, in terms of the discounts which he gets, in terms of delivery costs he's saving, it comes to about 18,000. So people are more than willing to spend that 150 rupees and take the benefit. Also, this also ensures that they get their products on time, and there are certain supplies which are not available throughout the season. That is also ensured that they get on time. So this is something which is really clicked with the farmers. This has not been done before by any of the agri startups who are working in India right now. uh, if we look at something very, very new, which has not been introduced in rural India again, which we are planning to do, is introducing Kirana in 60 minutes. We call this a BV Quick model. BV Quick is very similar to a Zepto or a Blinkit, which we all are so hooked to right now and using it. So it is delivering Kirana in 60 minutes is what we aim to for BV Quick to our same set of customers. Now, we have the set of customers who are willing to buy products which we give them because they trust us. The trust has been built over the last 2 years. And now this is just not only the demand, but also a latent need, which we sought a lot of insights in the last 2 or 3 months. And we realized that this is the sector which is going to take us to the next level. This is going to be a zero stock business model, and I would want Kaushik to come in and explain this.
So the one thing which is unique about this model is it's a zero stock business model, wherein if you see most of the dark stores which are currently operational for the likes of Zepto or the Blinkits, they have a dark store which operates in a radius of around 3 to 4 kilometers, and they're heavily stocked, at times more than 3 days or 4 days also. So it's a very high inventory led kind of a model for certain SKUs which are there with them. So we thought of, can we build a model which is actually a model which doesn't need any stock holding from the company. So we'll share more details on that as we move forward. First, let me give you a glance and an example of how what is a dark store, and let us understand a by way the dark store per se. So one dark store is captures around 100 villages. One village would be around approximately 300 farmers. So typically one dark store would cover around 25 to 30,000 farmers in its vicinity. Area, the radius being in the range of 15 to 18 kilometers max. Now, the business potential of one dark store is around 1400 crore. So, if I talk about a simple village which has around 300 farmers, the potential of business around 5 to 7 lakh rupees translates to approximately 15 to 17 crore rupees per village annually. When I add that to a BV Quick part of the business opportunity from these 100 villages is around 100 crore annually. Now, to break even from this dark store, we need to do a business of around 10 crore annually. And let's say we are already doing that right now with two stores that we are already operational in. The idea is to do around 100 crore from these dark stores, and thereby maximize or leverage the potential which is there in these capacities actually. One difference which I want to highlight is that the area which is covered by our dark stores are 15 times more compared to a dark store which is there for a Zepto or a Blinkit in urban India. Also, the delivery is not in 10 minutes, it's 1 hour. So the efficiencies and the scale that we can build at a lower cost is way higher. Uh, to ensure that we have a zero stock model and we do not have to stock anything at our dark stores, we have tied up with somebody at a strategic level, and it is Vishal Megamart. Just to give you a brief about Vishal Megamart is a 7,500 crore company with 640 stores operational in India right now. So the areas that we currently operate in UP, and we plan to expand to around 15 to 20 districts in UP in the next 12 months. It's a mirror image of our, let's say, current expansion plan. And all the areas that we currently operate has two or more Vishal Megamart stores which are available in these areas. The idea is to ensure that we treat the Vishal Megamart retail store as our dark store and drive our deliveries through their, let's say, retail outlets. However, the customer stays with BioVeda, and then the entire product list, which is available with Vishal Megamart, is mirror imaged in our, let's say, online portal. The idea of expansion in the next 24 months is in the next 15 districts, where we want to open up around 100 dark stores with around 10 lakh BV Prime members on our platform and drive a business of approximately 3,000 crore.
So our ask for this round, so this is a 4 crore round, out of which 2 crore we have already raised. This is a 25 crore pre-money valuation, and our ask is 2 crore. For this, the fund allocation primarily would go into dark store expansion, and of course there would be supply chain management and manpower costs as well, apart from certain very minimal marketing and pilot costs which would be used for this fund. So this is what we are open to, and as we finish this presentation, I would just say that this is where opportunity lies. If we look at the population of rural India, that's about 115, 115 million population, and that's exactly 115 crore, and that's exactly where the opportunity lies. If we strike, this is like striking gold, and I would urge all of you to join this opportunity right now, because as we grow and as the BV Quick model expands, this would actually explode in rural India. So that's our idea, so that we can reach every chaukat se chaukat tak of rural India. With that, I would like to say thank you and be open to questions.
Thanks, Mahua and Kaushik. Very interesting indeed. Thanks for running us through your product. We are now open for questions, guys. You can either ask your questions in the chat, or if you wish to speak, just raise your hand on Zoom, and we'll also allow you to unmute. Shikhar has raised his hand. Shikhar, allowing you to unmute.
Thank you, Rohan. Hi, thank you for the wonderful presentation. So I had a question regarding there was a, I think, first or second slide where some percentage was mentioned, 3%, 15%. Just wanted to know more about it, and also if you can talk about like competitive landscape.
So I think you're referring to the business model slide.
Right.
So the business model slide, the 3% revenue is on the output. So that's the gross margin that we have on the output business. 15% is the margin on the retail, let's say, business, which is input business related to agri. So that's the margin, the gross margin that we enjoy on the input business. Apart from that, there's a possibility that we might earn 1.5 to 2% on the fintech part of the business, which is still work in progress. On the BV Quick model, on the staples and groceries, the margin would range between 18 to 25%. Did I answer your question? I think Krishna is asking to
let me just share the slide so that it's visible to everyone. This slide. So there's a question regarding, there's a question by Divakar where he said that, Blinkit and Zepto have similar models and they'll quickly scale up. So I would like to answer that question with this. I would like to answer this question with this slide. So if we look at the quick commerce ecosystem right now, if we divide the entire country into 5 different geographies where we have metros, 6 cities, there are 6 metros where the average population is about 8 crores, and the stalwarts, Blinkit, Zepto, Instamart, Swiggy, all of them put together have a 7.5% of market share with 4 years of operations. They moved to tier one, where there are about 12 cities. They are operational there for the last 3 years, and their market share is just about 2.5%. The next move was to tier two, where their market share is as low as 0.5% in the last 1 year of operations. There is enough market for them to capture in these three cities right now. They haven't moved to tier three, where there are 200 cities, and then comes rural India, which is about 600,000 population. And 115 crore of population, where there's no penetration right now. There's no competition either. And of course, this is a complete blue ocean strategy, because right now none of them would like to move into rural India, and not even tier three cities. For one reason, that there's enough market for them to capture in these three tiers. Second is that the AOV or the logistic cost does not work out for them. Since we are a combination of agri and staples, that gives us a leverage in terms of logistics cost, because the logistics costs in agri is very, very less compared to what we do in BB Quick, and that gives us an edge over others.
I think if who asked this question?
Divakar.
Mr. Divakar, if you're allowed to speak, if you can ask the question, I think that would help. If you can unmute Rohan, Divakar.
I gave him the permission to unmute if he wants to.
Yeah. So I think it was more towards, I think Mahua answered a part of that. See, it was meant in two parts, right? One is what would be your direct quick commerce in a competition, which should be Blinkit, Zepto, or GeoMart, or whoever it is, right? But then uh, there are also other players, right? Like, for example, uh, I don't think you have anybody direct on the agri side, right? But then I believe there are also agri players who are also running commerce stores, right? So would they turn out to be competitors for you, or would your business model be completely different from what they're doing?
So, Divakar, typically, if you see the existing models which are there in the market, most of them are predominantly B2B models, barring few. So, if I talk about Big Heart, is one of those models which operate in e-commerce, pure play e-commerce platform. The current deliveries, since they don't have a rural presence through a hyperlocal delivery model, the current delivery timelines are between 5 to 7 days. Plus, they do not have any rural presence, and they do not have any density. If I talk about a village level, so possibly not even one order, or possibly a cluster of 10 villages, only one orders coming.
They have served 20,000 pin codes over the last 10 years, and they did an input business of 39 crores last year.
So in that sense, the current e-commerce players who are there in the agri space uh, are not very strong competitors to us. Yes, the likes of Zepto, Blinkit, and the GeoMarts are growing very fast, but predominantly they are growing in tier one, tier two, and now they have started penetrating tier three cities. However, coming to the rural part of the business, their business model is also such that their delivery is in a radius of 3 kilometers or 4 kilometers from a dark store. And they have a 10-minute delivery, which is very difficult in rural India. Also, the customer acquisition model is very different, which we have compared to these e-commerce platforms, which is a phygital. We have a phygital model only to ensure that we have a customer acquisition which is really fast. Since the Kisan Mitra knows the farmer directly at the village level, the engagement on the app, the onboarding on the app is very fast. And this as a model is not there in most of the e-commerce players or even agri-tech players who are there operating in this part of the country right
In fact, there are companies like Bayer, who are Bayer Seeds Corporation or Pioneer or Kaveri for that matter. In fact, they are trying to do certain strategic projects with us directly and exclusively, because we are direct to farmer. We are direct to farmer company. Whereas most of the others who are operating in this space are either selling to retailers, or they are buying back the produce from the mandis. So there is hardly any connect with the customer. If you look at BioVeda, we have 10,000 Baby Prime members right now, and by the end of March, this would be at least 40 to 50,000 Baby Prime members who are our customers, who are transacting with us.
captive business.
This captive business. So, and when you have a customer base like that, you can sell anything and everything which you want to. whether it be agri, whether it be quick, whether it be mobile phones or financial products. So with the biggest USP which we have over others is that the customer is with us. There is a question from Mr. Dinesh. Do you have storage facilities to store food?
Mahua, we'll go in a sequence. Let me drive this. I'll ask the question and then you guys can take it up.
Sure.
So, in the interest of time, like since there are a lot of questions, let's keep 30 seconds to 1 minute as a cap per answer.
Definitely.
The questions from the starting, like it started from Dinesh, who was asking what is the minimum investment. Guys, I've shared the link to the invest page. There's 2 lakh per as the minimum investment from the syndicate and 10 lakh for a direct cap minimum. Next question is by iPhone. It would be good if you rename your profile name. I want to know if you're interested in Bundelkhand area for dark stores. Probably he's based in that part of town. He's asking if you're interested.
Right now, we are expanding in Uttar Pradesh. As we move forward,
MP is our next
yes,
stop.
MP is our next stop.
Got it. I think Deepak Pardeshi is asking what are the products?
I've already replied to that over the chat.
Sure. I think Divakar's question you already covered. Another question is what should be the size of dark store?
So a typical dark store for input business ranges between 1,500 square feet to 2,000 square feet. The rentals for these dark stores range between 15,000 to 20,000 rupees a month. It's pretty cheap compared to the urban dark stores, which are charging between 5 lakhs to 10 lakh rupees a month.
Got it. Sure. I think I was just keeping a track of when whose questions came in. So we'll take up a couple of folks who have raised their hands before the next set of questions came in. So Anand, allowing you to unmute, you can go ahead with your question.
Hi, Mahua. Thanks for the presentation. The question that I want to ask is, what is the typical cost of acquisition for like the farmer at your, app? So you mentioned Kisan Mitras, but what is the cost over there?
The cost is actually zero. There's no cost of customer acquisition. We typically charge 150 rupees for a Baby Prime membership, and out of which 50 rupees is paid to the Kisan Mitra. And if you look at other costs put together, that would be another 75 rupees, and another 18 rupees is GST. So actually, there's no cost of acquisition.
Okay, so
It's a zero acquisition cost.
And at what rate are we adding? Let's say, for example, like on a monthly basis, how many new farmers are being added? What is the how regular are they?
In terms of transaction, 80% of our business is driven by Baby Prime memberships. 62% of the Baby Prime members are transacting with us, and they are at least doing, since this is agri business, is a seasonal business. So if someone buys paddy seeds in the month of April or May, he'll again come back and buy seeds in the month of October for potato. So usually, whichever farmer has bought a Baby Prime, he's bought maize seeds, bought paddy seeds, and bought potato seeds. All of the three seeds he's bought from us, and of course, certain chemicals as well.
This understanding of the customer has given us the strength to launch BV Quick actually. So with the BV Quick, that we bring in stickiness with the farmer, wherein he'll engage with BioVeda on a weekly basis as we move forward.
It also ensures that the Kisan Mitras also get paid regularly on a monthly basis, because right now this one season closes, it takes about 3 months, and for the realization for a Kisan Mitras payment, it takes about 3.5 to 4 months. So it becomes very difficult to drive stickiness for all the stakeholders. Therefore, BV Quick is probably an answer to everything.
Also on the break-even side of a dark store, which was typically around 11 to 12 months since launch. With the launch of BV Quick, this will come down to around 5 to 6 months. So the expansion could be much more faster or aggressive in that sense.
Okay, just one last question and then you can mute me. Like quick commerce is like, say, the hot thing in the startup world right now. We all see, like, stock markets are also loving it. So I guess for you it's a pivot into that area. I guess you're founded in 2022, correct? So
it is not
correct me if I'm wrong.
It is not a pivot. It is an evolution. So if you see, when Flipkart started off, they started off with selling books. But then they realize that the customer is not only there to buy books, he can buy so many other things. You have the customer ready who needs, there are certain needs, and that's exactly what we are
In
fulfilling.
fact, to an extent, Anand, I agree with you that if you see when we started off, we were calling ourselves e-commerce platform. However, with this advent of quick commerce, and since the deliveries that we do, which is in 4 hours for inputs, agri inputs, and 1 hour for output for let's say grocery and staples, we are calling ourselves a quick commerce model. If you see competition vis-a-vis what we are doing, so their delivery timelines is like 4 days. Flipkart is delivering in these areas in 3 to 4 days timelines. Amazon is doing in 5 to 6 days, and we would be delivering in let's say 1 hour, which is why we are calling ourselves quick commerce. I think that's
No,
doable.
that's perfectly fine. I mean, it's a. I mean, I would say it's a compliment that you guys are, you know, moving into areas which are like more, which are kind of, you can say, tried and tested. So in the urban space, if commerce has worked, the best that you can do in the rural areas which are underserved, I mean, this is the best that anyone can do. So it's good that you're doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes,
Cool.
Rohan, next question.
Thanks, Anand. Next question is by JR, allowing him to unmute, and then we'll go back to chat after this. JR,
Yes. Thanks, Ron. Thanks. Hey, team. Good presentation. I have a couple of questions. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So the first question is the input side is giving you a gross margin of 3%. The output side is giving you 15%, and then you have the groceries, right? Am I correct?
That's right.
No,
Okay.
the output is giving 3%, input around 15%, and groceries
Okay.
20.
Groceries obviously would be low margin, but
Groceries would be
let's
actually
keep.
higher margins.
Sorry.
Groceries would be higher margins, anywhere between 15 to 20.
Okay, so you are kind of replacing a retailer. So you're getting the retailer margin out of the grocery
Yes,
chain.
yes.
Okay, great. So what would be the split between these two if you were to kind of earn a rupee? What is the unit economics here?
So if we split this, so BV Quick is yet to start. We are starting this off very soon, first week of December. We feel
Okay,
that BV Quick would be around 35 to 40% of the business, which is staples and groceries.
okay,
Output would be another 20-25%. We would like to keep it that way only.
okay.
Since the margins are less, and in case we end up making certain losses over there, it could hit us really bad. That has been our experience in the last 2 years. And we'll
Mhm.
keep the input around 35%. So that would be the mix, wherein the average mix of margins would be in the range of 9 to 10%.
Okay, got it. So, if I were to kind of understand it correctly, both input and groceries, you are replacing the retailer, and output is you are actually taking it back from the farmer and trying to give him a market
Correct,
connect.
Right.
correct. That's right.
Okay, great. The other question that I had is that you said that 60% of the ask is for expansion of dark stores. So, are you investing in dark stores, or are you
It is
partnering with
manpower
people
cost.
like Vishal?
So,
Megamart to kind of
they are typically speaking a cost of a monthly average cost of opening up a dark store is around 3.5 to 4 lakh rupees, which comprises
Mhm,
of around 12 sales team members, one
mhm.
MIS guy, one warehouse guy, and around one more security, and a rental of around 15 to 20,000. That is approximately 3.5 to 4 lakh rupees a month.
So
So
you are investing, you're basically investing in creating the dark store infrastructure.
not the infrastructure, but the manpower. Infrastructure is something that we take on rent. Very
Right.
basic stuff, around 1,500, 2,000 square feet rented space.
Understood. 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 You're basically creating a system of the thing, whether it's cap, whether it's OpEx, it's a
Yeah,
but
there's
you
some
are
cost
going
of
to be
hardware and technology.
yeah, exactly. So okay, I got it. Okay. Yeah, that's my question. So I'm just trying to understand where the money is going and where the revenue is coming from. Thank you for your time.
thank you. We'll move back to questions from the chat. Dinesh was saying, do you have storage facilities to store farm produce sold by farmers? Please elaborate more on this, and how do you ensure all the produce is sold quickly without wastage?
So, in fact, I think very good question, and this is something that we delved deep before we started off the business. So, as a policy of the company, we do not stock any materials. All materials that we buy from the farmers is basis orders that are already available with us through institutions. So, the process is we collect order from institutions, basis which the packaging is done at our, let's say, at our dark store, and the material is shipped immediately to the institutions. There is no storage that we do of any of the materials that we buy from the farmers.
Got it. Hope that answers your question, Dinesh. If not, please revert on chat or raise your hand if you want to speak. Next question is by Rohit. Who are your competitors? I think we have it was covered in the deck, right?
Yeah, we've already spoken about that also.
Yeah. Krishna is saying, what are the different revenue streams for the company?
So the business model, as per the business model, shared. So one input, selling of input to farmers is one revenue source. Buying output from farmers and selling to institutions is the second one. Third, we are starting off VV Quick first week of December, which will be another revenue source for us. Fourth, something which is work in progress is the fintech part of the business, wherein we'll be offering uh, small side ticket loans to farmers in the range of 10,000 to 50,000. We'll be a
Business consultant.
business correspondent for a bank, BC for the bank, wherein we'll enjoy a margin of around 1.5 to 2% over there. So these are the four models that are operational right now. There are other models like we intend, since MOA comes in from an insurance background, we are also planning to make insurance a part of the overall selling proposition.
Will be financial products.
Financial products. So there are many more models which are still.
Plus, yeah, they're still work in progress. Plus, there would be ad revenues, which
ad
would be
revenues from brands.
From brands.
Got it. I think on a related note, the revenue bifurcation is being asked by Kiran. Is it more from subscription or from or BV BioVeda Quick Commerce?
The entire business which is happening right now, 82% of the business is through the BV Prime subscription model.
Noted.
BV Quick is yet to be launched. We are launching BV Quick in December, the staples business. So there's a lot of readiness which is going, and work on the application as well, which is going on right now.
I think, Rohan, one thing which I wanted to highlight here is that this is the very right time to join the business. Our current MRR is around 2 crore, 2.2 crore. Come February, March, this will touch around 11 to 12 crore per month. So at that point in time, possibly the valuation of the company would be somewhere around 150 to 200 crore. So this is the very right time for anybody who's willing to invest with the valuation that we've offered, let's say, for the investors who are there right now.
Yeah, I agree on that. I think that brings us to the next question on a similar note, which is by Selva, who's asking what will be the valuation after 2 years.
We feel that in case we can rope in around 10 lakh BV Prime members, uh, that would also ensure a business opportunity of around 2.5 to 3,000 crore. So I think 1.5 or 2x of the GMV, even if I take that, 3.5, 4,000 crore should be the valuation of the company.
Very interesting. Next question is by Anuj. Are you planning to add supply channels beside Vishal Megamart?
Yes. We'll start off with Vishal Megamart. Gives us a leverage on a zero stock kind of inventory level that we start with. We are starting off with 2,600 SKUs on day one with zero inventory at our dark stores. So that's a huge plus. But as we move forward, there are certain requests which we have already made to Vishal Megamart that we need more dark stores from you, smaller formats in areas that we'll be operating. In case that doesn't come through, yes, we'll be possibly joining hand with other, let's say, interested players as well.
Noted. Next question is by Krishna. What are the different costs involved in the operations? And by Kiran, you can cover these two together, your operational and scaling challenges. So the costs involved and the challenges.
So if you see the dark store model, so if you see one dark store is a cluster of 100 villages. Now, the first thing that we intend to do when we move into a new drug store is ensure that we have access to this 100 villages through 100 Kisan Mitras. Getting those Kisan Mitras appointed in the next 30 days or 45 days of the launch is something which is there's a lot of work involved or physical effort involved in doing that. Since we do not have the let's say tech play over there right now, which is still something which is we are working on the training and the onboarding part of the Kisan Mitra. So that is something which remains one piece which needs to be sorted for scale up. So, for example, if I'm planning to open up 100 dark stores in the next, let's say, 24 months, uh,
We need robust
we
technology.
need robust technology. A lot of investments have to come in, um, and the cost structures are very simple. Ek admi, one person goes to a village, appoints the KM possibly in 24 hours or 48 hours, goes to the next village, appoints one more. So possibly one sales team member that I currently have takes around 30 days to appoint 10 or 15 Kisan Mitras. So that is something which is the first play, engaging the Kisan Mitra, making them understand the entire product, ensuring that the BV Prime members are onboarded. So that's the 45 day is something which is a lot of effort. Once that is done, it's a cakewalk actually. So currently, at times, uh, the number of orders that we have is more than the stocks that we can supply. For example, if I talk about the May season, we had orders worth 10.5 crore in 40 days. We could only supply around 5 crore worth of stock. So,
The
which
same
is what
goes.
Moa was saying. In between, we do not keep the BV Prime live throughout the year. We open up in spurts of 20 days, 25 days, wherein we feel that from a supply side, we are confident enough that we can offer the materials to the farmers. Only then we open up and add, let's say, 2,000 or 3,000 members. Then again, we stop it. But once we have the power of cash flow going and the supplies are stitched, this can grow exponentially.
Sure. Thanks for that. Next question is again by Krishna. How does this compare to HESA and who holds the inventory?
So if you see the HESA model, so if you see the HESA model is very similar. HESA operates in the southern part of India right now, and they have HESA Sathis, if you see, wherein a lot of materials are billed to HESA Sathis through a channel which they have. However, our model is a little different, wherein the Kisan Mitra, who is parallel to a HESA Sathi, is not anybody who is transacting on a financial level with any of the farmers. Their job is to ensure that we have the farmers onboarded on the platform, and their job is to ensure that the sales keep on happening through a let's say a push kind of a model wherein they talk to the farmer and explain them about the product or how they can engage on the app. HESA is a different model wherein the HESA Satis are given certain products which they sell to the farmers, and the direct farmer level last mile engagement is not there with the company. So from day one, what we have maintained is that we need to engage with the last mile, the farmer, for all our transactions, and we keep the physical, let's say, element agent away from the financial transaction that we are doing with the farmer.
Sure. I think next question is sent. Who are your final customers for these agri produce collected?
So currently, we are selling to the likes of Ninja Cart, Cargill, of business, who in turn sells to manufacturers. These are aggregators, you can say, who buy from us and sell to manufacturers.
Cool. I think we have two, three more questions in the chat, but before that, I think Dinesh has also raised his hand, allowing you to unmute Dinesh.
Hi, this is Dinesh here.
Hi, Dinesh.
Yeah, I had asked about the storage facilities, right? So how do you ensure the least wastage? So you mentioned that you first get the orders from the institutions and then source it from the farmers, right?
That's right.
Okay. So my follow-up question to that was like when a farmer buys a BV membership from you,
BV Prime, yeah.
BV Prime membership from you, what what is his actual expectation or the value that he gets? Is it more on the input side that his expectation is there, that he gets seeds and pesticides or fertilizers from you, or is it he's more interested in selling his produce through your network? What is the
Both ways, Dinesh.
Both ways.
So both
which one is more important to him?
I think
Both are equally important.
because I'll tell you why I'm saying this.
Uh-huh.
Input side, if you see, it's an agri business wherein the shelf life of a product is very limited, 45 days or a 20-day or a 60-day window.
Mhm.
So the company always gives you 80% of what is actually required in the market. So there's always a demand which is very high. Supplies are limited because of the lower shelf life of the product, which is why at times the products are sold at black actually higher than
Okay.
MRP,
Mhm.
which is why this is one reason as to why the farmer wants to engage with us. We offer the right kind of product in terms of quality and price.
Yeah.
On the harvest side, they are very, very keen
Mhm.
to give us the product because over there also we offer them a better price compared to the mandi price, generally a 5 rupee less or a maximum 5 rupee more. However, they tend to save on the logistics cost.
Mhm.
Uh, Taking the materials to the mandi, waiting there for 24 hours or 48 hours before they sell it, and then realizing the money in 15 to 30 days. So
Okay.
convenience, from a convenience side, they also get a lot of help from BioVeda. So both ways, if you see,
Mhm.
uh, they make, let's say, they make a deal in case they engage with BioVeda actually.
Okay. So currently you said that your orders are more than the supply from the farmers in terms of
Correct.
produce.
Correct.
So, but when you grow and in future, say after a scenario after say 5 years, do you think that when you have more farmers onboarded on your platform, will that play any role in terms of the farmer dissatisfaction if their produce is not getting sold, if it is more supply than the demand?
So both
How
ways.
do you
In
see
case
that?
there is a demand supply gap. So, for example, if I talk about maize as a produce, currently the demand is more than the supply.
Hmm.
So there's no dearth of people buying maize right now. However, if you see the paddy this season, which is last year priced at 2,800 rupees a quintal, sold at around 1,700 or 1,800. In these
Hmm.
kind of scenarios, they look at outlets like us,
Hmm.
wherein their realization is better than what they are actually getting from the mandis.
Yeah, so my question basically was in terms of their satisfaction, both on the input side and the output side.
The stickiness always goes
As
up
to
because
uh-huh.
if you can buy their produce
Uh-huh.
and offer them the convenience, yes, the stickiness goes up. But we
Okay.
also have our own limitations in terms of how much we can buy. We create a funnel before we start, let's say, buying from the
Hmm.
farmers, and that's a principle because as a policy in terms of storage, we do not have. In
And
fact,
do you measure their
as we move,
satisfaction levels also? The
yeah.
You
In
said
fact, as we
10,000 farmers are onboarded. How many do you think are currently satisfied with your
so
uh,
if I talk
services?
about maize procurement that we did, we bought from around 2,700 farmers.
Mm-hmm.
That point in time, we had around seven and a half, 8,000 farmers on our platform. Around 2,700 farmers actually sold to us.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to address this issue, Dinesh, which we already understand as founders, what we also intend to do that we want to start a warehouse marketplace kind of a model wherein we offer this warehousing, let's say, space to institutions who are buying from us right now and
Mm-hmm.
engage the farmers with them directly, wherein the farmers can come to the warehouse and sell the materials directly to these institutional buyers.
Mm-hmm.
And we would enjoy a percentage margin between 2 to 3% or 4%, depending on the supply and the demand part of the business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the model that we are trying to build as we move forward.
Okay, because currently you don't have that risk right now because the demand is more. But
Yeah.
when you have more farmers on your platform, you may face that, right?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool. Thanks, Dinesh. I think we'll skim through quickly the rest of the questions. Krishna's next question is, what has been done so far? Will you be discontinuing this when you start quick commerce?
No,
No.
I think this will run hand in hand. It's parallel. And it's very important that if you want to engage with a farmer, uh, you have to build trust through the agri model. And through that, you can actually leverage on the quick model. Because that's the latent need of the farmer that I need quality seeds at at fair prices. I need you to buy the harvest and offer me the convenience. So that's a latent need which is there. And to top that up, we are offering this BV Quick, which we feel very strongly through the research that we have done of around 3,500, 4,000 farmers, that this will add a lot of value as we move forward in this engagement.
Got it. Sure. Next question is by Suresh. Thanks for the wonderful presentation. Your vision for the next 3 to 5 years for the company, and when can investors expect exit and likely returns? That's a lot of like detailing asked, but yeah. Starting vision for the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, of course. So, as we scale up, we would like to be the go-to company for any farmer in India. That's a larger vision. But of course, in the next 5 years, we look at BioVeda engaging with at least 10 to 15 lakh farmers across various states of the country. Uh, we can give you the investors who have already invested in us in the last 2 years. We would be probably giving them exit in the coming 6 to 7 months. There is a lock-in period of about 36 months, 24 to 36 months is where you can expect the lock-in period, and of course, you can expect an exit in 36 months. The likely returns, as I said, that there are people who started. Uh, put in their first check that was at a 10 crore valuation. In all probability, they would be exiting at a 100 crore valuation within 2.5, 3 years. That's a 10x return right in the beginning. But in fact, as we scale up, where the scale up has actually started now, this could be anywhere around 15x returns.
Got it. Thanks, Mahua, for that. Next question is by Krishna on unit economics.
So we are unit economics positive. So whatever we sell, we make profit on that.
Do you have a breakdown handy right now, or?
We have a breakdown because it is product by product, season by season. I can send it across to you as an Excel, in an Excel format.
Sure, Mahua. I'll share that across with you, Krishna. Just drop me a message. We'll just go through some more in the chat. I think a couple of folks have also requested to unmute, including Anand. Anand Arora's question is onboarding via only Kisan Mitra? Do you have referrals from farmers? If yes, what's the referral rate per farmer?
No, the onboarding is strictly through Kisan Mitra, because a Kisan Mitra is the one who's engaged in the village, and all the sales are referred through a unique code which the farmer enters when the Kisan Mitra onboards the farmer. It is right now we have not opened a referral for the farmer, and
Yes, I think
as we grow
and we have some critical mass wherein we see a lot of engagement of the farmer on the mobile app.
exactly.
The number of transactions on the mobile app goes up through the BV Quick model. We might possibly as well open up the app wherein a direct referral program can work for us.
Got it. Next question is by Anuj. If we invest 10 lakh via direct cap, how many shares do we get? Interesting question. I think we've had a lot of intent already coming from various folks in the chat. I see quite a few emails.
It's somewhere close to
I'll just tell you.
48 shares.
51 shares. 10 lakh.
10 lakhs divided by
2649. So that's around 48 shares.
close to 50 shares.
Cool. 48 to 50 shares, Anuj. They'll share the exact number. Shefali, what percentage of net profit are you expecting from all your models combined in the near future, say in the next 2 years, and the net profit percentage in the current financial year 24-25?
So this year would be minus around 5.7, 5.7%. Next year would be somewhere around minus 1% to minus 0.5%. And on the third year, yes, we should be positive by around 3 to 4%.
Right. Next question is again by Krishna. In fact, next couple of questions are by Krishna. What is the working capital required for running this business? What are the factors contributing to fluctuations?
So for the agri business, if you see, if I talk about the next year business plan, which is around 600 crore, agri business would be somewhere around somewhere around 200 to 250 crore kind of a business. For Agri 250 crore business, we need a working capital uh, which is seasonal. So once in every 4 months, we would need somewhere around 15 to 20 crore kind of a working capital. For the staples business, which is a zero inventory model right now, could be a maximum of around 5 to 10 crore, not beyond that. Uh, for the output business, if we do around 100 crore output business or 150 crore output business, uh, the working capital required at that point in time would be around 20 to 25 CR. So overall, if you can see 30 to 40 crore kind of a working capital is required to drive a business of around 600 crore over a period of the next 12 months.
Got it. And a follow-on question by Ms. How much does the top three customers contribute to revenue?
I didn't get that
So
question.
top three in terms of output, if you see output, which is
In terms of revenue, like in terms of your highest to lowest revenue generating customers, top three ka revenue is what percentage of the total revenue? That's the
that is
question.
exactly Rohan. Now, if you see our input business, it's a B2C business wherein you are selling to farmers. So there's no top three over there. Now, on the output business, which you're buying and selling to institutions, there could be top two or top three customers over there.
That's off business and Ninja Card.
And that's off business and Ninja Card.
Got it. Allowing Anand Kataria to unmute, who's also, part of the panel where we first met you. Yeah, Anand, please go
Anand
ahead.
sir.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you, Anandji?
Hi, good evening, good evening. I'm sorry I couldn't be there with Rohan during your due diligence process, but I hope he knew that I was always going to back you up,
Yeah,
which
Thank
I
you.
no
repeated
problem,
on
Anand.
that
Thank you
call.
so much, Anand.
Yeah, so it's a great presentation. I kind of, when I see your presentation today and when I saw it a month back in Pune, uh,
2.5 months back.
2.5, oh, time flies. Uh, well, first of all, congratulations, and you're building a great platform. And as long as you're making a quality input to the farmer's life, it's a great thing to happen. I would bring your attention to a couple of points. Also, after the presentation, we'll have one-on-one call. But just for the interest of uh, all the all the participants here, I would certainly like this company to grow in the best possible manner because you've in fact flipped the whole quick commerce model and starting from the bottom of the pyramid, which is a great thing to happen. I wish that everybody on the in today's participants really participate in your growth. Um, so all the best for that, and few points that we would discuss with Rohan and you one on one in couple of days time.
Sure.
But I'm really happy, and I come from a actual farmer's background, and I do hardcore farming as we speak, approximately on 40 acres of land,
Speak.
very extensive
And the
and very.
customer sitting here.
So I'm a customer, I'm an investor, and I'm also end user, uh, having a Zepto account or a Blinkit account as well. So yeah, my side actively how a great moat, and especially towards the health and the insurance part of the farmers, because the kind of farmers
Right.
that
Right.
you're trying to cater, the insurance going forward is going to play a very vital role.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, a quick technical question before I conclude.
Yeah,
What is the language of your platform right now?
in
Because the
English
kind
right
of
now.
numbers that you are connecting, you would need to put in some capex on vernacular language of your app. So
Right
Yes.
now it's Hindi and English.
consider that in your
Sure,
uh,
sure.
fundraise and expense side also.
Yes, sir.
That's
We
right.
already
Because
done that.
as you right now you are in the Hindi belt, but the dynamics in Maharashtra, dynamics in South India are going to be different than what you are
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So all the best. Rohan will connect separately. I have a lot of input for this company, and since we are engaged there with you, I think I can bring in a lot of first-hand experience from both sides of the uh, from the consumer side, also from the input or outputs, both sides. So all the best for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We'll be in touch.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Quickly, I think we are already over an hour. We'll go through the other questions in the chat. Rohit is asking, why are you focusing on dark store where more than lakhs of stores closed in the past year as consumers increasingly turn to fast delivery platforms such as Blinkit and Zepto, according to a market study by the All India Consumer Products Distributors Federation. Blinkit has actually closed 50 dark stores in India due to a number of reasons. So that's his question. Yeah.
So, when we call them dark stores, now dark store is a terminology which is well understood by people who understand quick commerce. We can also call it a warehouse. When we call it a dark store, if we look at our inventory is not beyond 2 days. So whatever supplies we get, they are delivered within 2 days. Even if we look at potato, which has been we did about 2.7 crores of potato seeds. The last day of inventory is we were left with about 30,000 rupees of inventory, which also we are getting probably getting sold in the next 1 or 2 days. So we are not actually mapping a lot of inventory in the dark store. Whatever orders we get, since we are delivering within 4 hours, that's the actual supply we get. Since we are a hyper local delivery, our supplies are also hyper local. We do not get supplies directly from the brands. We are associated with distributors of various brands who give us supplies locally, and that helps us manage our supplies better. And therefore, the inventory which is managed is very minuscule. If you come to a dark
But
store,
what is the reason of this dark stores getting closed? So I'm not clear about it.
yeah, I mean that's a question which has been raised.
So Rohan, what is the reason as to why these dark stores were closed? Then we can draw a parallel if it is a threat or a challenge for BioVeda as well.
Yeah, there are a bunch of reasons. That's what Rohit has mentioned. Like, yeah, maybe we are definitely going to plan a deep dive call, with you in the coming days or either this weekend or early next week. So yeah, we'll cover this in detail then, Rohit. If you want to have a separate discussion with Mahua and Kaushik, we'll facilitate that as well. In the interest of time, we'll cover the rest quickly. Krishna is asking, how do you ensure quality of the farmer produce?
So, okay, this is a very interesting question. Now, if I talk about off business or Ninja Card, they have their quality inspectors who actually visit us and they're stationed in our stores.
Even Samanuti and
In Samanuti and Arya.ag, they have their quality inspectors who are actually stationed in our dark stores who actually check the quality of the materials. There are certain standard quality checks which they have already given to us during along with the PO purchase order, which we maintain through a certain amount of training or basic understanding that we give to our procurement guys, and it is checked by their own guys before it is shipped to these let's say locations.
Got it. Next question is by Kiran on the team and team size.
So we have a team of about 42 members right now as we talk, out of which there are about 29 sales guys. There are about four MIS guys. Then we have an accounts team, and we have a set of bikers who are right now working with us. Whenever there is a demand and there's a season, we add additional set of bikers. And as we start VV Quick, we would be having a large team of bikers as we go ahead. Right now, the team size is 42.
Got it.
Plus, there are about 600 Kisan Mitras across 900 villages who are not on our payroll. They are commission agents.
Interesting. Next question is by Krishna again. Who manages logistics and how is this managed?
So again, it is managed through a dark store led model wherein we have our MIS and warehouse manager and the bikers, very similar to how our e-commerce platform works. So in case you have X amount of stocks available for uh, A, B, C SKU, which are listed on the platform, basis the orders which come to the platform, The dashboard actually reflects what are the orders which are there, which is sent through the bikers to the end consumers.
Got it. Next question is by Manoj. How do you ensure quality of source? I think this part is already just answered. What are your plans for quick commerce? Vishal Megamart already working very low OPM and they're also scaling up their quick commerce, already initiated in metros and tier one cities.
Okay, just to give you an understanding of Vishal Megamart, they have an online channel which is right now there. The contribution of the online channel for the last 2 years have been 1% of the business. Uh, so, for example, if I talk about one store in Sambal, on a daily basis, this store, let's say, reaches out to around 8 customers. So, the reach currently is around 8 customers per day per store on an average at a pan India level. Now, our commitment to Vishal Megamart for the same store is around 400 to 500 orders in a single day. As we start off, as we go deep 6 months down the line, this single store will, let's say, help us deliver to around 3,000 or 4,000 orders on a single day. So that's the understanding with Vishal Megamart as we move forward. In case they're planning to go on a quick commerce kind of a model at a rural India level, wherein the engagement of the stickiness on ground is very important. I think currently they don't have that. Also, their vicinity of delivery is a max of 7 to 8 kilometers from the store. Wherein, if I see our reach is way beyond that, and in this 15 stores that we will operate for in UP, uh, we'll have around 100 dark stores operating for the area or the geography that we will be covering. So there are certain synergies which we see between us and Vishal Megamart, and there is a roadmap which is there based on certain number commitments that has been done between the two parties.
Got it. We still have a few questions and a couple of folks who've raised their hand, guys. We'll try to wrap up by 9 p.m. I have another call at 9 and we'll definitely have a deep dive as well, like I said. Next question is by Ashish. Are there any government headwinds or tailwinds you see coming in the near future? Also, any local troubles with panchayats or unions?
Government headwinds like
Ashish, just for background, is ex-Bain and runs a venture studio called Lambda Ventures, helping early stage startups.
I understand. So the point is, Rohan over here is that if you see that the farmer strike which happened in 2 years back or 3 years back, it is very difficult to predict such scenarios. Uh, so we don't know if something like that might happen. Uh, they have to sell output, they have to buy input. So the farmers will never create a problem. There are certain unions which you see in the likes of Zeptos and Blinkits, which the distributor community is creating certain problems. This might come up. The companies have their own way and a division which is now called alternate, let's say, channels, wherein they engage with online parties and different, let's say, other channel partners who are not traditional distribution partners. So the companies are already working on those models already. We feel that agri as a space will take a little more time to graduate and mature. But staples and groceries as a category, they're already quick commerce savvy or e-commerce savvy kind of a model or a structure, you can say. I don't see much challenge over there. On the agri side, yes, it will take a little more time to mature as an online player or e-commerce or quick commerce player, which we feel it will take its own time, around 3 4 years more. But the space is huge. This is around 55 to $60 billion industry on the input side, $500 billion on the output side. So we don't foresee any challenge per se right now, but there could be something which might come up, and at that point in time, we'll handle it accordingly.
Sure, makes sense. Cool. Next, I think we'll allow JR to unmute. He's been raised his hand for a while. So, uh, Janki Ram, if you'd like to unmute.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah. So one quick question. Um, I like the space that you're in and the purpose that you people are trying to kind of achieve. Are you in any sense connected with AgriStack? Your app is talking to AgriStack?
In fact, so Hemendra Mathur is one of our advisors actually. So he's very closely working with the AgriStack team, both in UP and other states.
Yeah, so I'm more talking about the technology part of it because because this is a Government of India initiative where you get the farmer registry, you get the geo-referenced village maps, you get
Yeah,
the crop zone registry, and so on and so
correct,
forth. So
correct.
it will really help you in customer acquisition, and not even that. And if you can kind of have an API integration between your super app, so to say, or just the farmer app, so to say, with AgriStack, that would kind of really help you
Sure,
grow
sure.
faster.
So, JR, we were there at one of the meetings which was conducted by the UP government about 3.5 months, 4 months back.
Hmm.
And it was all about the Agri Stack and the companies who were doing it. For example,
Hmm.
AgroStar has been, so there are 4 companies who have been given to handle the Agri Stack or create the Agri Stack for UP. And, there was a whole discussion on that. So, right now, it's not an open forum. So, they have not opened it. The government is
It's
Okay.
keeping
sure, actually.
it's
It will
very
take
premature. It
2
will
to
take
3 years
at
to at
least,
least build
yeah,
that.
build up and then
So that the
open it
data
up,
would be believable.
and also then open it up to other startups and
We will
companies. So
surely take advantage
we'll
of
of
that.
course take advantage of that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks, Jer. Next, allowing Shikhar to unmute as well. He's also raised his hand.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. Yeah, I just have one follow-up question on the logistics part. Uh, so just wanted to understand from the like input, output. So all the logistics are handled by BioVeda.
As of now, yes.
So let's say, for example, a farmer from a remote village places a order for, uh, let's say, seeds. So he will place the order on the app, right? And BioVeda will source it from the local distributor. So right from the distributor place to the farmer in the remote village will be handled by BioVeda, right?
That's right.
It's being handled by BioVeda.
Okay. And same applies to output also.
Yeah, that's right. So output, they bring the materials to the center, to
Mm-hmm.
the dark store, wherein
Okay.
we have collection centers that bring the materials over there
And then from there, we directly send it to the institutions.
through, let's say, vehicles.
And
trucks,
going forward, we'll move it into a warehouse marketplace model.
and you know what is the beauty of this model? The beauty of this model is we are not actually, let's say, offering solutions to any village. This village is tagged to the dark store, which is only 15 kilometers away from the dark store. So we exactly know which village are we, let's say, offering the solution to. So it is not like any village is getting this offering from BioVeda. Only villages which are connected to the dark store, which is the 100 villages, which has
Mm-hmm.
every village has a unique KM code and a person stationed over there. Uh, that village is getting serviced by BioVeda. It is not any remote village is not getting serviced by BioVeda.
Okay.
So that's the difference in the model.
So that's a choice which we make, where we make a cluster of villages for a dark store, and we work with those villages. We go deep, we work deep, then we move to the next.
So,
That's
for
how we
example,
do
one
that.
village which has around 200 or 250 farmers, 50 or 75 farmers are BV Prime members over there.
Exactly.
So that is how we operate.
So the density of the orders is much more rather than one getting from a village which is remote at one corner and the other from north. Doesn't happen
Mm-hmm.
there.
So
But
for inputs, the BioVeda will deliver to farmer, but in the case of output, uh,
he brings it to the
he
collection.
brings it to the collection center, and also the institution will be responsible for the collection, or BioVeda will deliver
Both
to
ways.
the
Actually.
institution.
At times, the institution also sends their vehicle to our centers. And
Mm-hmm.
at times, we also send vehicles to their, let's say, locations. Sometimes in Sonipat, Rudrapur, or many more
Okay.
locations to sell.
Okay. So in terms of expense, what contributes? I mean, which is a major expense which forms a part of your fixed
But usually,
expenses.
the sales team, which is a 29, 30 member sales team, is our major expense, actually, you can say. So this
Okay.
sales team is on ground. The reason being that they have to appoint Kisan Mitras in the village.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they have to drive these Kisan Mitras so that they can actually make BV Prime members or drive sales through the set of farmers which they have.
So it's primarily the cost of manpower, followed by cost of Kisan Mitra and then logistics.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah.
Shikhar, does that answer your question in the chat? Logistics for input, output, and quick commerce. I think we were covering that. Let me know if it does not in the chat. Next question is by Krishna again. What's been the top two challenges so far?
The top two challenges so far, one, of course, building
Fund.
trust. One, building trust with the customer. Rural consumers are very different from our urban consumers. They would not believe you just on your face. So it has taken us some time to build that trust. But once it is built, then the expansion is much easier because word of mouth really works very well in rural India.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I'll just give you an example. We have just moved to Kasganj and Farrukhabad regions, and we're very new there. We were doing a meeting there for all our Kisan Mitras, and then there was one customer from one of our Badau dark stores who walked up to us and said, "Aap online wale BioVeda hai na?" And we did not have to sell ourselves. He was the one who spoke about us, and he did our entire marketing there, word of mouth.
So
Referrals work very strong. So that was something which took us some time to build that, but that is built. The second has been fundraise. Has been a very, very challenging.
Predominantly.
Agri, especially predominantly, it's very difficult to get fundraisers.
True that. Next question is by Shefali. Will we be getting equity shares in lieu of investment? As I can see, the paid up capital in the year that just ended is 1,13,000 and odd.
It's CCPS.
It is a CCPS round.
Yeah, that I think we covered it a couple of times already in the call, and it's also live on the deal page, which I periodically shared in the chat. What are the rights? One is they're confirming if the paid up capital is that in the year that just ended is 1,13,540.
That's right.
And what are the rights, and is there any income associated with the shares one will acquire other than when the shares are sold?
Yes, there are dividend rights which are there, and there is since CCPS means a compulsory let's say conversion of the shares. At that point in time, whatever is the let's say fair value of the share, that as an let's say return can be initiated.
And last bit
Building
is
standard stuff actually. So whichever it's all legal stuff which is there.
right. And last part is, and what is the lock-in period for the shares acquired? So I'll answer that. Shefali, typically in an early stage startup, we look to take an exit between 3 to 5 years of time, depending on how well the company has grown in that period. That's the average time, and I think I guess BioVeda is also planning to give us a similar timeline. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mahua and Kaushik.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
Krishna's next question is, which markets are you present in? How much is the expansion for next year?
We are present in Uttar Pradesh right now, 4 districts of Western UP: Sambal, Badaयूं, Farrukhabad, and Kasganj. And we plan to move into 15 new districts in the coming year, which would cover almost 60% of Uttar Pradesh.
Not 60%, but in terms of land size.
Land size, yeah.
But in terms of the crops that we do. So typically speaking, we engage only in non-perishables right now, which is paddy, wheat, maize, mustard, millets. So these kind of crops is something that we are focused on right now. And these 15-20 districts that we're talking about comprise of around 60-70% of the overall Uttar Pradesh market. Now, if I talk about the opportunity size, it's a 2 lakh crore opportunity size that these 15-20 districts have. The 2 districts that we started off with was an opportunity size of around 18,000 crore. So that's the opportunity size in even small areas that we currently operate. And we'll stick to this plan right now because it has taken us time to make the business model strong and robust, and it's working for us. So we'll copy paste it for at least for the next 20-30 districts and build some scale before we move on to other new products, new categories as well.
Cool. Quick 1 minute, last two questions. Chef Ali is asking, can you please throw light on how you have come to the valuation of 25 crores?
So, two things. We checked out our MRR, which was around 1.3, 1.4 crore, and we had projected around 2.53 crore by end of this year. Now, basis that, we see that our GMV would be in the range of around 30 to 40 crore come March. We are already at 15, 16 crore right now in the last uh, 7 months of operation or 8 months of operation. And we feel that it's pretty rational, 1:1 kind of a GMV valuation that we are looking at. Also, the captive audience which we have, which is around 10,000 DB Prime members, offers us a 500 crore captive business opportunity. Uh, and we feel that we can surely take around 50 to 100 crore business opportunity
We
in the
know
next
that.
12. And that's going to happen in the next 12 months, and which we feel that this as a set would be the right kind of a valuation to go ahead with.
Cool. I think we'll valuation. Krishna was asking. I'm not sure if it was jokingly, but giving a discount to the current investors. They've raised 2 CR already on the current valuation. So unless you're adding significant value apart from investment, I don't think that would be an option. Sai Shrikant is asking, why not in South India, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana?
Andhra Pradesh and Telangana is the hotbed of input business for India, actually. So most of the seeds are grown over there. Currently, since we stay in Delhi, uh, it was easy for us to manage UP really well. Also, the challenges we understand in terms of the language, there was no barrier to start with. And since funds were limited, so we had to travel very frequently. So we thought that possibly UP would be the best bet right now for us. Yes, once we have done some amount of scale up over here, we'll take our experience over there in Andhra and Telangana as well, and we see a lot of opportunity over there.
There's also a direct correlation of funds.
Right. Cool. With that, I think we've covered all the questions. I think these were a whole bunch of questions, and thanks, Mahu and Kaushik, for patiently answering all of them. I'm sure you know more questions only means more interest in the company, which is great to see. Yeah. Thanks, Mahu and Kaushik, for
Thanks
your time.
everybody.
Thanks,
Thanks so
everyone.
much, Rob.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for taking the time out late evening on a weekday and attending the pitch. Pretty impressive agri-tech startup, and we are getting a pretty interesting entry point in terms of valuation of 25 crore, which is, on par with their current MRR of 2 lakh, which, I mean, 2 crores, which actually goes to, if you do it on an annual, goes to 24, and their projected is 40. So yeah, it's already a very good valuation, and we feel it's going to give a multi-bagger return in the years to come. So yeah, encourage you all to participate in the current round. We will
Thank
be
you so
sharing the
much.
recording as well soon with all of you.
Would love all of you to join us on this journey.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Mau and Kaushik. Bye.